I think we were leaders at the time. There were several other companies in the field, obviously. I think we were enthusiasts. We had the energy, we had the drive, and the good fortune to be handling a wonderful series of programs that it turned out to be. We had a cold start with Supercar, but we built on it. One of the first deals we did was with TV Comic. They saw the strengths of what we were doing, and we ran a weekly strip with them. And then we built a whole raft of licensees. I used to do a lot of what I call cold, but it's still called cold calling, knocking on people's doors. And you got a fairly dusty reception from some people. I remember walking out of one office, a fairly major toy company, and they were quite rude. I said, well, if this is your approach to it, I don't even know why you're giving me the time for a meeting, because, So I didn't. I said, I think I'll close the meeting, but I walked out with Yes, there's no doubt that we were the leading edge of licensing. I think Disney had tickled it without realizing what they were doing. They had Mickey Mouse and all the rest. But we were the first UK company, I think, of any consequence to tackle it. I was going to say scientifically. It wasn't. We were driving it by the seat of our pants, and I think a lot of business is it's inspirational. It's how you feel about it. And I got hold of Supercar, and I took it to America as a project. The reason being that ATV, through their distribution company ITC, got a phone call one day and said, we placed the rights with a company called LCA, Licensing Corporation of America. And we gently pointed out that they hadn't got the right to do that. So we had a quick meeting at Slough, and it was decided I should go to the US of A, which I did. So I was full of self-confidence, and as one always is. And I got to New York, and I went in to see the head of ITC, lovely man. And he didn't have any problems. I said, these are our rights. So I took them back, and I walked out with the rights and had a meeting with Stan Weston, who eventually became LCI, Leisure Concepts Inc. And the wheel goes full circle. 25 years down the line, we did a deal with them. The daughter was running it, Cindy Weston. And the last major licensing program I handled in this country, through an associate company of Century 21, which we still have, by the way, was the Power Rangers, which was a huge success. So what I learned by my Thunderbird days, we put to good use in the Power Rangers. So we built our own empire, and it's amazing when you're on a roll, you can create the role, and or continue the role. That's what we did. We identified the opportunity and we went for it. And we used to have meetings talking about the licensing opportunities. And whilst, unlike some of the programs today where you've got product placement and so forth, we used to build the merchandise in a natural and spontaneous way, so it really belonged to the show. No more so than if you look at the 5 vehicles in Thunderbirds, 4 of them which were hugely successful, plus in particular Lady Penelope's Rolls Royce. We licensed that to Dinky Toys in Liverpool, and I used to go up there with great pleasure. And they eventually sold in the UK alone 2 million pieces. It was die-cast, and they had to produce another set of tools because the first ones were out. It was a hugely successful item. And that brought a lot of attention and focus, because here was Dinky in those days, one of the leading companies. They eventually ran into problems, but they were pretty powerful. And people liked to be associated with success and power, and that brought a lot of attention to what we were doing. It was a joint effort. We used to sit around think tank, if we had call it in today's parlance, and I say 5 of us. There'd be Gerry there, and Sylvia, Reg Hill. Reg was a lovely guy. Good morning, Keith. No. I say, Reg, I haven't even asked the question, but you had to just get the guy warmed up. But he was great. And then John Reed and myself. And we used to sit around and we said, would this work? And we were not afraid of putting any idea on the table. Because if it didn't work, you just leave it on the table. If it did work, you pick it up and develop it. And we were small enough and flexible enough to respond to ideas almost to the point of you could change the script if it made sense to build something in. And it was very much a team effort, with Gerry rightly leading, and everybody happy to respond to that. And, Gerry had this knack of bringing the right people together, and he brought a lot of talent into the company. Up to Thunderbirds, we had almost driven it by the seat of our pants. After Thunderbirds, I think it probably needed slightly more scientific management, and that wasn't available. And therefore, I think it brought about the decline. We had ATV. Initially, I always say the honeymoon was marvellous, but the marriage was not a success. That's the way I put it in the kindest terms. I use the expression, I think the salt had lost its flavour. That's the way I put it. And I parted company at the end of the 60s, I think 69, I'm not sure. They changed the name of the company to ATV Merchandising, and it was run by my number 2, Richard Cully, New Zealander. But I met him in the early 60s when he was working for Tuckwell, and he joined us. We had quite a team, but we had an office in Mays Court, and that was where we were based when I parted company and set up my own operation, which had great success and great failure. Reformed Century 21 in 1975 with Gerry as a shareholder, and we built from 75. I have an office here at Plywood. Built it from nothing to a very successful company. We handled all the licensing for ABBA. We did Paul Daniels. We did World Wrestling Federation, would you believe? WWF. Did Power Rangers. And then I thought the time had come to fold the tent. So I still got Century 21, and we've got another company called Century 22.